Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today I am here to show you, we're almost to the end of June, and I'm here to show you my two Destashify makes for this month, as well as I have two new fabrics that I'll be making up in July. Also have some fun stuff coming up with Destashify, doing some fun videos with them. I find that it is just such a great concept. Number one, I'm a big fan of thrifting, of getting things secondhand. If you're not using something, having a way to responsibly pass it on to someone that will use it, and then being able to make the sewing hobby, because of that, more financially accessible to others. So I'm just a real big fan of Destashify. And we're gonna talk about just gems that I found versus just some great basics that I found with them. Yeah, I've just had a really good experience with them. And I have promised that as soon as I get my own store, because I'm gonna sell some fabric that I've got lying around that's not gonna get used. My daughter is gone right now. As soon as she is back and we're back in the swing of things, she's gonna help me set up that store. And I'm gonna walk you guys through how to set up your own virtual store on Destashify if you wanna get sell some of your own things. So, let's get into this video. Okay, let's see, last month, so in May, I had two fabrics, this gorgeous fabric and then a more utilitarian fabric. So we're gonna talk about these first. I don't have these on Lena, obviously, because they are short overalls, but I will put footage of my daughter in them as I'm talking about it. Okay, so my daughter asked me for overalls, quite a while ago. Like maybe, definitely the fall, maybe even the fall before that, I don't know. But she's been wanting some overalls. And so I had purchased the Constance overalls by Fiber Mood and just hadn't got around to making them. But now that we are in the summer months, she said she really wanted a pair of short overalls, or short-alls if you're from the 90s. So I thought, you know, it would be really easy to take that pattern and adapt it to shorts. So what I did was I sewed the size 34 for her. So these are more of a looser fitting overall. You know, they have like no waist definition, kind of baggy. I'm actually very interested in making this pair for myself. And we'll talk a little bit more about her thoughts when I'm finished here. But I made her the size 34, and the only adjustments I made was I cut the legs off. And I think I added 7 inches to the leg, and I just, you know, went 7 inches down the inseam and then made a line that was perpendicular to the grain line on both the front and the back. And then we ended up, because I just wanted them to be long enough, and then we ended up cutting an inch and a half off, and then she wanted it raw edge, and we folded it up to the wrong side by an inch and then top stitched that down. She likes the way, she's got some Old Navy shorts like that, and she likes the way that looks. So we did that on these. That's the only adjustment that I made to this pattern. It's a very standard pattern. The pattern has the pocket that's on the front here actually going in sideways for the pocket, which I don't know what that was about. So I just stitched mine to where the opening was just on the top. Let's see, I will show you the guts here. It's got a really cool pocket detail. So it's got the buttons, the pocket goes in here, and then the buttons kind of go back behind that. I used a overall kit, let's see, it was the overall clasps, I guess you'd call them, and then the little strap tighteners and buttons that came in a set. So I think I actually had those to make the Jenny overalls, or I purchased them then, and anyway, they worked out well for this. We used some fun quilting cotton for the inside waistband on the front and the back. I did end up interfacing my waistband just to give it a little bit more stability. I don't know that I needed to. I don't often with denim, so sorry, my head is completely cut off here. The pocket construction is also really cool. So you've got like the body of the fabric, your denim, up here at the top, but then so you're not having just a really heavy pocket, you cut the bottom part of the pocket in quilting cotton, and then the inside pocket is all quilting cotton, which just helps reduce bulk. But it keeps it stable here at this opening for the sides nice and stable. I also interfaced, I put a strip of interfacing where my buttons and buttonholes were gonna be. I don't know why the pattern didn't call for that, but I did do that, just to give it some more stability, and that seems to work really well. There's a faux fly on the front. Obviously that's not working because you get in and out of these by the side buttons here. And there are plackets to get in on both sides of these. She just has to undo one though to get these on and off. And she has a very large hip to waist ratio, so, and she could still get them on just undoing one side. And then you've got these cute little pockets here on the back. So it was a really fun pattern actually to make. This denim does have some stretch in it, although that is not necessary for the pattern. Oh geez, I'm all twistedy here. What have I done? And there we go. Okay, so the pattern calls just for rigid denim or corduroy, or you could use like any kind of cotton twill, cotton canvas. You could do a linen, just make sure it's a heavy duty linen, you know, like a pretty heavyweight one. Yeah, definitely corduroy would be adorable. But it was a really fun pattern to sew. This was my first fiber mood pattern that I made. And there is an option when you're printing your layers to also print with the seam allowances on, which I did, and I really appreciate that. I don't know if that's the case with all their patterns, but there was an option to print the seam allowances on, so I didn't have to trace and add my own seam allowances, which I hate doing. So there was that option, and I'm glad that there was that option. So I did choose that option. The instructions were pretty good. They were, you know, maybe not as good as some of the independent designers, but they also weren't as sparse as, say, Style Arc maybe. Yeah, so I thought that, I mean, I was very impressed. I would definitely make more of these fiber mood patterns. I did follow the instructions because there was some interesting construction, you know, with the pockets and stuff. So, yeah, I even had to actually follow, which I don't often follow instructions, but I actually had to on this. Okay, I'll show you footage of her actually in these. So her thoughts on these, she really likes to highlight her waist, and I think that it bothers her, even though I will probably wear like little crop tops and like tight fitting tops underneath, it does bother her that there's no waist definition. So I'm wondering if this fall I need to make her a pair of Closet Core Patterns Jenny overalls, because those are actually fitted at the waist and then include the bib. I think that might actually be more up her alley. Whereas when I've made the Jenny overalls for me, I find that waistband a bit constrictive. So I'm wondering if I need like full length overalls with this pattern for myself, and then do a pair of the Jenny overalls for her, and just take them to the ground, like a full length pair, the wide leg for her for the upcoming school year. Because I do have some light denim that's non-stretch, which is fine for the Jennies, that I could use. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. So if you are straighter, I mean, not that you have to be straight to wear these, but if you prefer to not have something gripping your waist all the time, I think this would be a great pattern. I'm very excited to try this for myself. If you are someone that does like to have some waist definition, maybe trying like the Jenny overalls, for instance, would be better. So that's just kind of the insight that we took into these. But she does still love these, and she's already worn them twice. So I think that, I mean, especially for summer when you kind of want things to be loose. But I think for her full length pair that we will use the, maybe the Jenny overalls pattern. Yeah, and I think I may make myself a pair of full length one of this pattern for myself. But yes, this is a great denim that does have stretch in it. You don't need stretch, but it worked out perfectly. And I have enough for, I think I'm gonna make her like an A-line skirt, or maybe a jean style, or jean skirt style, with the remainder of what I've got. We'll wait until the fall though for that, because this is one of her best neutrals. So I'll let her have the remainder of this fabric as well. So that was the first garment that I was able to make this month. We'll just toss that over there. Okay, the second one that I made is this cashmerette Upton dress, and it is just lovely. Okay, So I made, actually, and I have a second Upton bodice made. I don't have a skirt on it yet, but that was the dart video that you saw on last Sunday. But for this one, I was gonna do the darted bodice for this dress, but I decided last minute, because I was looking at some of the stuff that, pictures that Cashmerette had on their site, and they had the double V in the front and back with the princess themed bodice, and it just looked so good that I decided to go for it. And that might have actually been in the Gilmore skirt pictures, because I popped the Gilmore skirt on here, which is one of Cashmerette's, their club patterns. This was March, April, I think it was April. Yeah, I think it was April. But it's just a very simple circle skirt pattern, but it can be smushed onto the Upton, all the different Upton blouses, different sleeves. It just adds more to the whole Upton expansion pack, which I was very excited about. And I just really am enjoying this dress. So again, I made two bodices, the princess themed, and I also made a darted one, but you'll be seeing that actually in another video. So this features, and what I like kind of about the Cashmerette patterns, they do a shorter bodice on purpose, so where it's trying to catch the smallest part of your waist. Now their smaller size range, the 0 to size 16, they do have a little bit longer in the bodice in order, you know, to hit at natural waists. But the original size range, the 12 to 32, she does raise to where the bottom of the waistband hits at your natural waist, so that you're really, you know, taking advantage of the smaller part of most people's body. I shouldn't say most. I don't know that it's the smallest part of mine, but you know. Anyway, I'm having a very much an inflamed day, and I'm just very inflamed through here today, but you know, whatever. Okay, so I chose the V-neck in the front and the V in the back, which I think is gorgeous. Invisible zipper throughout. I interfaced my waistband, although you don't have to, but I did because I just wanted it nice and structured through here. And then I put the Gilmore skirt on, which is a full circle skirt. Obviously, this is too big for Lena, but fits me like a glove actually at the moment. This is a cotton sateen from Destashify also, obviously, and it just was beautiful to work with. It's cotton, so it pressed really well, it sewed really well. I did have, because this skirt is so full, I took 3 inches off this skirt because I'm short, and it hits me, I think, right in the perfect spot for wearing a heel. But I would not have had enough fabric had I kept the original length of the Gilmore skirt. I just barely had enough fabric to do all this. And obviously with Destashify, I'm buying, for the most part, there are some sellers that sell by the yard because they've got a lot of something, but for the most part, you're just buying a piece. And I can't remember how much I had of this. 2.5, maybe 3 yards? I don't think I had 3. Maybe 2.5 yards. So I did have to cut the center front instead of on the fold. I did have to add a seam here, but I thought, you know, the pattern's so busy, I don't think you're even going to be able to notice, and I think it works out really, really well. What else? Oh, the hem. I have finished off the hem with Petersham ribbon. Actually, you may see, oh no, that's part I finished. I actually haven't finished sewing this hem in by hand yet. I ran out of time, but I will do it later this week. But finish that blind hem by hand with Petersham ribbon. Now, Petersham ribbon is different from grosgrain. Grosgrain, they're both ribbed ribbons, but grosgrain has like selvage edges. It has like rigid edges on each side. Petersham has like little scallops on the edge, which make it perfect for bending. You can put bend and curve into Petersham ribbon. Most of the time it's made out of nylon, some sort of a nylon blend. I actually bought a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, like 4 or 5 big spools of it at a fabric shop in Philadelphia. And it looked like it was ancient, like it had probably been there for a really long time, but you don't see Petersham. You can find it a little bit more easily now than you used to be able to, but yeah, I grabbed a whole bunch of it, and it's come in very handy, various widths. But I thought this teal was fun, and the reason I put it in here, number one, to help with the curved hem of the circle skirt, but also just to give me a little bit more body. I didn't want to put horsehair trim in the hem. I don't need that much kick, but just a little bit more body so that when it weights it a little bit. So when I spin, I have just a little bit more sticky outiness. Although, I'm not ruling out putting a petticoat under this I'm possibly going to wear this to my cousin's Missouri wedding. She's getting married, she's having an Italian wedding, and then having like a reception in Missouri, which is where we're all from. So I might be wearing this dress. I really might be. We have no idea what time of year she's going to be doing that, so we don't know yet. But it may be kind of fun to make myself just not a huge petticoat, but a little bit of a petticoat to give me a little bit more kick out. That might be kind of fun for a party. So we'll see on that. All right, let's talk about the guts. So, just get this off, Lena. There we go. Oh, sorry, that was probably really loud on camera. I apologize. Just throwing bits and pieces of Lena everywhere. So, I did not line the skirt on this. I could have, but I didn't. So I actually thought about using the gored skirt that also comes with this pattern as the lining, but I didn't. So I thought, it's opaque and it's fine without it, but the bodice is fully lined, and I did do a silk for that because I had some in my stash, which just feels like heaven against the skin. So the bodice is lined, the skirt is not, but I think that's fine, and then I have my fun little Petersham ribbon there at the hem. Anyway, I just think this is a delightful pattern. And again, there are multiple necklines if you buy the expansion pack, sleeves that you can add. There's two different bodice blocks. You can have the one that's for sleeveless or with the cap sleeve or flutter sleeve, I think. And then if you have the more fitted sleeves, there's a different bodice block that you print off and use. But then you've got like different skirt lengths. You have the pleated skirt, you've got a gored skirt, you've got, and if you're part of the club, you can get the Gilmore, which is a circle skirt to add. Or I guess you could draft your own if you wanted to. Anyway, love this. The fabric is wonderful, and being cotton, it's really easy to wear, but the sateen makes it look a little bit fancier. And it's like literally all my colors. So I'm very excited about wearing this dress. These are like large abstract tulips, which this, chops them up a little bit, but oh, just the splotches of color make me so happy. Making this dress made me happy. This fabric feels amazing, and this is one of the things I love about Destashify. You can find these gorgeous one-of-a-kind pieces. I also have some silk gazar I'm gonna be making another, hopefully my outfit for the Italian wedding out of it. But yeah, you can find just some really beautiful pieces that you don't see in stores that someone grabbed and then fell out of love with, or, had their colors done. I'm finding that. My touting having colors done, and I've got fabric that I've purchased that's not my colors that I, need to get rid of if my daughter doesn't want it. But anyway, I just love that about Destashify. And another thing, let's move Lena so that you're not staring at a broad mannequin. Another thing that I love about Destashify is that you can find some really great basics over there as well. So these are the two fabrics that I've grabbed for July. The first one is this, actually they're both cotton spandex jerseys, but this first one is a mottled, kind of a denim-y blue, but it's a heathered, just a single jersey, I'd say light to mid-weight. It's got good stretch, good recovery, perfect for like a fitted t-shirt. So I'm gonna be making, I got this for my daughter. I have a lot of this though. She could get a few things out of this. 1, 2, there's over 2 yards there. 2.5 yards maybe? Which is plenty for her, especially because she likes the shorter cropped shirts. So this is definitely gonna be a Concord cropped shirt, probably with a scoop neck. And I'm not sure which sleeve quite yet that we're gonna put on that. And this might also be a Carlisle. She loves her square-necked yellow Carlisle that's got the poofy sleeves. So we may play around with it and do a poofy sleeve, but then cut it short and like band it so that it's, kind of a statement sleeve, but a shorter one. So yeah, because I can get a couple of shirts out of this for her. But this is gonna be for her, and it's gonna be a couple of Concord/Concord Carlisle mashups. And then this one, Carrie, who runs Destashify, she posts stuff on Instagram. Definitely follow their Instagram account unless you don't want to be tempted. If you don't want to be tempted, don't follow the Instagram account because she, oh my gosh, she posts things and then you get all excited and you run over there, but then other people have run over there and then the thing is just gone and it's depressing. I'm just kidding. But she had posted this and she tagged me, and because there was some like a terracotta or kind of a light rust tinsel twill, and she had posted it and I was like, oh my gosh, and I went over there and someone had already bought it, and I was telling her, I was like, oh my gosh, that was like the worst feeling to go over there and it be gone. So when she saw this one, she's like, I think you're gonna like this, and tagged me, and I was like, I do. So I went and scooped it up real quickly. But this is a cotton spandex jersey. It has some recovery, not great recovery, but it's obviously one of my yellows with the white stripe. Sorry, the stripe goes horizontally. But this is a thicker cotton spandex, and I'm thinking it would be good. Gosh, I mean, it would be really good for another Wanderlust dress because this kind of reminds me of the purple and white stripe that I made my Wanderlust out of. I don't know that I need 2 striped Wanderlusses though. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I think this is going to be, what is happening here? This is going to be a dress. My other thought was that it could be fun, and I got my eye also on the newest Pattern Emporium knit dress, although it's got spaghetti straps, which I guess I could thicken, but I think that's all with the binding. But I thought if I could find a good knit bodice that I like with thicker straps, because I really have to wear a bra, but I thought it might be kind of fun to do a, just like a sundress, but a tiered one. So doing tiers with the knit as opposed to like a woven. I thought that could be a lot of fun. And I thought about even using the Love Notions Tempo sundress and just omitting, because I wouldn't need the elastic or the shirring in the back because I'm using a knit. But that could be kind of fun. So I might play around with that and make a knit version of the Tempo and just omit that shirred panel and just do, just a knit panel in there. Which I could do the elastic version of that, I guess, but I don't know that I would need to because it's knit. So yeah, I've been playing around with that. So this is going to be a sundress of some sort. I just haven't decided what yet, but isn't that fun? Bright colors. Okay, so guys, there you have it. If you've not been over to Destashify's website yet, you need to go over and just look at all the good stuff. Last time I was over there was a whole bunch of swimsuit knit that someone was selling that was really gorgeous, and I had to talk myself out of buying it. So go over there, check in every now and again. There's some really great finds. Okay guys, this is all I have for today. Friday, I've got an announcement of something that is going to be happening, not really channel related, but Tomcat Stitchery related, like my whole brand, I guess. Anyway, newsletter people will find out about this a little bit before it goes live on the channel, so make sure you are subscribed to the newsletter if you want to find out and maybe get first dibs on whatever this is. But yeah, I have a link down below if you want to get signed up for the newsletter if you're not already. So that announcement will probably be going out Thursday night, like probably late Thursday night, and then the video will go up normal time Friday morning with that announcement. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you're getting some sewing in, and I will see you all next time. Bye!